forgot to film an intro for this vlog, but hello, I have finally put all of the mice together, and I'd say it's maybe one of the trickiest introductions that I've done with mice initially. Still way easier than introducing rats, but they are all now together, and actually I need to move them on to the next step, which is putting them back into this enclosure. So I'm going to do that. I filmed the entire process, but I think first I'm going to go on a dog walk and then do that after. Speaking of dog walks, I have put a lot of effort into making sure River has a good solid recall, and I just started braving letting her off lead in quiet places. But something else that's given me peace of mind during all of this is today's video sponsor, which is Pit-Pat. So me and River have been using their GPS tracker recently, and this can go onto their collar or their harness, and in just 2 taps you can track your dog's location using the app. But it also has other features such as how many miles they've walked, or how many calories they've burnt, and how much of that was spent either walking, running or playing. One of the great things about Pit-Pat, unlike some other GPS trackers on the market for dogs, is there's no hidden subscription fees that you have to pay just to use the device itself. You just set it up and you're ready to go. So I've only charged my Pit-Pat once since getting it, and I've been using it consistently for the past couple of weeks, and the battery life is really good. You can also check on the app if you want to, just to check how much battery it has left. And also because it does attach to their collars with a super strong velcro, it can fit onto any size collar for any size dog, and it also comes in a range of different colours, which I went for a green one, but it comes in pink and black and also other colours. So if you're also a bit of a helicopter dog parent like me and you want to know where your dog is at any given time, I highly recommend the GPS tracker from Pit-Pat, and you can use my discount code, which is EMI10, and that will save you a bit of money and get you 10% off your entire purchase. Okay, as promised, here are the clips of me introducing all of the mice together, and it was just chaos. Hey. Hey, be nice. Why are you the one squeaking when you're attacking him? I think the problem is she's so scared of the other mice that they're then reacting to her fear, because they're getting along fine with the boys, but she's just trying to jump onto my hand and jump out. I know, it's okay. He's your new friends. Good girl, go say hi. Go say hi. Good girl. I know it's scary. Good boy, Griffin. Look at them in the corner. You are so tragic. All of you are so tragic. Will someone come make friends with Maple, please? Griffin's really trying, bless him. Good boy. Good boy. She keeps jumping out. Can you get? Excuse me. Drama. This is going to be a long night. So it seems to be going good. I've moved them up into this carrier and it honestly took them hours to settle. I think because Maple was so nervous, it was kind of putting everyone else on edge and she was squeaking a lot. She just would not settle, so they weren't really doing anything to her, just anytime they touched her she was being very, very dramatic. But when I came in first thing this morning, they were all cuddled up in this pile down here, Maple included, so very happy with how it's going, although I hate this part of intros because trying to give mice water is impossible. They will tip it over and dehydrate themselves, which is not good. So can I give you some water, please? Look what you've done to it. I bet you're really thirsty. But yeah, it's going good. I think I'll keep them in this stage a little bit longer because they were quite unsettled last night and I only just put them into this carrier that's about twice the size of the other one about 11 PM last night. So just gonna keep them in this for a couple more hours and see how they go. Guess who has an ear infection? When it rains it pours, honestly. I just knew something was going to happen and I was just kind of waiting for something to happen, but Tiffin is tilty, he's kind of tilted to one side and he's got an ear infection. I'm hoping it's just an ear infection and it isn't something neurological, but honestly, these rats. So it is very, very subtle. You can't really tell in some angles. He looks completely fine, but he is very, very slightly tilted to the left, technically his right, I think, and it looks way worse when he's kind of lifting his head up. So definitely some sort of ear infection, hopefully nothing more sinister than that, but I think I picked up on it pretty quick, which is good because the quicker you pick up on it and give the medication, the less chance of them being stuck like this and having a permanent head tilt. So hopefully that is not going to happen, and we've got the medication all already because with everyone being sick, literally I'm filming this the day after we've had to have Aero put to sleep and this has happened. I honestly can't catch a break, but luckily because everyone else has been on a host of medication, I've got everything already, so able to just quickly give him some and hopefully catch it early. So yeah, he is going to be on antibiotics and steroids for the next week, 2 weeks. I was literally planning on doing intros and then this happened, so it's just not meant to be at this point. Gonna wait for him to be better, finish his medication, and then we can try. No one else, please no one else gets sick. I just want you all living together. Does he not just really give you Crumble vibes? Like he has exactly the same face and eyes and facial expression. You don't have the personality though, you're very, very shy. But you have his eyes, his goofy, wonky eyes. You do. Uncle Crumble would have loved you. He loved baby rats. Is that nice? Look, he has the the wonky eyes. You are so cute, Toast. So cute. One thing that I forgot to show you in the last vlog is I did a painting with Aero before he passed away because I kind of forgot to keep doing these with my rats, and I'm slacking slightly because I didn't do them when I got Aero and Kinder, and I don't think I've done them with Crumpet and Polo either, so I didn't want to not carry on that trend of doing little paintings with each of my rats and having one for pretty much all of my rats, or most of them, not like the first couple, but I was not missing doing this. So we've gone for like green and purple colours. I'm kind of running out of colour options like colour combinations for them that I've not already done, but it turned out pretty cute, so glad that I remembered to do that because I would have been kicking myself if I hadn't. Something else I also did, I don't know how like morbid this is on like the scale of morbid things to keep from your pets, but I recently bought like a bunch of glass bottles to put, I just needed one to put River's baby teeth in from when she was a puppy. I'm that puppy parent that like keeps the teeth. So I had a bunch of glass bottles and I thought I would collect some of his fur to put in. So I took like equal amounts of, focus, there we go, equal amounts of black fur and white fur into a tiny bottle just to remember him, because that is a part of him, so I'm going to keep that next to his painting. Maybe not for everyone to do this, but I think it's kind of cute. So it's got all of his different like black and white parts. I will try to remember to do this with other rats when they pass away, because I do quite like this, but I just, in the moment, I'm obviously so stressed and upset that I sometimes forget to do things that I will appreciate afterwards. So there we go, his little fur in a bottle. But yeah, that is how I'm choosing to remember him. Oh, also, I wanted to show you, look at the size of these pine cones. I've started selling these on my store, and I always keep back at least one product to take photos of and try with my pets. So I'm going to put this into the rat cage. I'll have to decide which ones are going to get it because they're still not introduced, and it's a fairly big size. So you could kind of use this with mice as well if you wanted to. But it does have like a screw, so you screw it into the cage and it's a ledge, but also you can also stuff like malt paste or baby food in the gaps and it turns into a foraging toy. So gonna try this with my boys and see what they think. But yeah, if you would like a giant pine cone ledge foraging toy type thing, these are now being sold on my store. Okay, so it's time to move them up to the next step, and I do sometimes have a lot of stages in between this with different size hamster cages, but I'm just going to put them in here and see how it goes because they have been in the carrier stage a lot longer than they needed to, just because I had things come up and I wasn't able to completely watch them. So they are doing pretty well. I'm just going to see how it goes. If there is any issues and it's too much space and they do start fighting, then I'll take it back and put them in a smaller cage. But I'm just going to put them into the Bucat stage cage just to see, and then we'll see how it goes. So they've only got bedding and a couple of things that are hanging on the lid, and when they're good they can earn more things to hide in, but they've got hay and stuff to burrow under. So let's just see how it goes. So it's been about a week or so since they've been in this stage of introductions. I've slowly been adding in bits and pieces, but I do want to move them back into the pet room and into the IKEA Lindmon, which I completely set up normally. So I'll tell you one thing, this enclosure, having used it now with a slightly bigger group of mice, and to be honest, even when it was just the 3 girls in this before, opening this door, there is a smell that hits you because the ventilation is not as good as having a mesh top enclosure. The smell does hit you slightly when you open it, so I would not be inclined to use this with mice long term, I don't think, just because that ventilation issue is quite apparent. So can't wait to get them back into the IKEA Lindmon because I've set it up much nicer than this. Look, you've done these mice, I swear. So I need to round them up. They are all, I'm guessing, they're in there, so I need to find them, which is probably going to take me a good 30 minutes, I won't lie. This part is always my favourite, just watching them explore a proper setup when they've been in a slightly more boring one. Because of introductions, this part is just the best. They always seem so excited and so grateful, and it's just a good sign that everything has gone well. So everything has had a good clean. I always love setting up their enclosure, especially after everything's been cleaned and it's just a brand new setup. So everything has gone really well. I didn't expect anything else, but I'm so glad that it has. So Tiffin has had about 2 weeks now of his medication, his antibiotics and the steroids, and he's still a bit tilty, so I think this is going to be him. This is going to be his look for the rest of his life. I think it's kind of stuck, which does happen sometimes with ear infections. It's not really got too much worse, but it definitely hasn't fully cleared up, so I think he's going to be a bit of a tilty boy. To be honest, I kind of suspect, given all of the weird behaviours he had beforehand, that he might still have something neurological going on instead. So I think it's just going to be the case of keeping an eye on him for the rest of his life because something quite clearly isn't quite right. But yeah, that is the end of this video. Hopefully, fingers crossed, in the next one, now that he's finished all of his medication, we can do intros with all of the rats. I'm still very much dreading it. I have been procrastinating it slightly because he has been off his medication for a good couple of days now, so I could have started them, but I'm kind of holding off, so I will do that in the next vlog. I promise you will see the intros, good or bad, that is gonna be up. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and of course a big thank you to all of my channel members. If you are interested in also becoming one, you can click the join button underneath this video. But thank you so much for watching, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!